It is Mental Illness Awareness Month, and I'm going to talk about depression because there's a lot of people who have depression and they don't even know it. I'm probably going to talk a little bit about my depression and like when I knew I was depressed. Zeke. And how it affects me, I guess. And I don't know. This might be a boring video or not. It could be informational for you guys. But I think a lot of people are born with depression. It sounds weird, but I think it happens because sorry, Zeke's in the way. I felt like I've been depressed ever since I was a little kid. And I feel like some of it has to do with my preschool experience because it was garbage. I got bullied a lot because I was the only white kid in my school. I grew up in Inglewood, in Chicago, the hood, I guess. But I don't know. I didn't find it very hood-like. I don't know. I was a 3-year-old. And, I don't know. I mean, for my mom, we were talking about it. But she felt like there's no really way to tell if, I don't know, a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old has depression. But I just remember always being sad. Whether it was something little, like my brother slapping me, or like stealing my pillow. Something like that. Something so stupid. Because my mom, no one in my mom's side of the family has depression. I know my dad's side of the family, there's a lot of depression. There's a lot of mental illness issues. But none of them got treated. It was just like, oh, I'm kind of sad. But reality is it affects you. It really does. My symptoms can go so physical to throwing up. My sleep schedule's off. I get really dehydrated. I'm lethargic. I get sick a lot because of depression. Because it's something in my head. And just because some neurons are off by a little bit. And that's why I think I've had depression, because I didn't get diagnosed until I was in partial outpatient program. I was in an outpatient program at my local hospital, and that's when the psychiatrist was like, Zeke, what do you got? It was like, you're depressed, here's some medicine, here's some coping skills. But honestly, I feel like I was at such a low stage in my life. That was like borderline, like, I wanted to die. I mean, I guess I take it so lightly because when you have depression, you really don't want to, like, I don't know, for me it was just like, oh, whatever, it's depression, whatever. But it affects me. I also isolate a lot. All because of this preschool experience. Or it could have been something so simple as I was just born with depression. And I looked it up before I made this video, but 131 million people have depression. That's a lot of people. And it can be temporary, because I know there's a lot of types of depression. There's major depressive disorder, there's clinical depression, there's all sorts of depressions. I have major depressive disorder. That's what I was diagnosed with at the hospital. But like before that, my only diagnoses were, I went from having an ADHD or hyper something, but it ended up being anxiety and mania part of bipolar disorder. And that's also one thing that affects my depression so much is bipolar disorder. Because I will go from skippity-dee, my life is so great, to like 3 minutes later, I'm so low. And some people find that weird because that was like, oh, you don't want to diagnose a, I don't know, how old was I? I was pretty young. I was like 13 when I got diagnosed with 15 when I was diagnosed with depression. And I have no clue when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. But my mood just, and at first it was kind of like skeptical because most people with major depressive bipolar are like, for a month they're happy and then for another month they're so low. But mine is just like, day 1, end a day. But that also has a major effect because it makes it kind of worse, my symptoms worse, with major depressive disorder and bipolar disorder. Just, they're buddies, man. And my emotional state gets so much worse. My lows are low. They're like in the gutter, past the gutter. They're in the sewage low. But I think the one thing that would help a lot of people is if they really knew what depression was, because it's serious. It's serious. It's very, very serious. Suicide kills more people than cancer. That's how serious it is. Almost, like, out of the two, I forgot, I don't even, like, my statistics are off. Like, this is all I have. But I did an article, and I remember, it was for, pro-gun thing, and most of gun-related deaths, suicide, homicide. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And, I mean, we can't control those things other than try to make the system better. But it's a killer. It's a pretty top killer out of the 10 killers of the killers. And it's serious, and not a lot of people take it serious. They're like, oh, I'm depressed. A lot of, like, people, I don't know, my school, they kind of tend to go, they use depression very lightly, the word depression, because depression is life-changing. There's a difference between being depressed and sad. There's a huge difference. Major difference. Sorry, I'm looking at one. I'm, like, distracted. And I don't know. Sometimes it gets me mad. Sometimes it's just like, oh, whatever. Sometimes I joke about it, but, you know, I have depression, so sometimes I'm serious, sometimes I'm not when I say things like I'm depressed. People use that term a lot. Why not say the whole word? I mean, and I feel like, I hope it doesn't, but sometimes I feel like my depression affects the family because I'm not involved in a lot of things. Family events are hard, school's hard. I almost became a fifth-year senior, which means I missed almost more than 18 days of school my sophomore year. I went into an outpatient program for almost a month during the summer. Zeke, come here! Zeke! And then I got Zeke, and I haven't missed more than 8 days of school. Maybe 4 or something. I don't know. But I don't know, Zeke's helped me a lot because he's like my lifeline. Like, if I go out in public, my anxiety just kicks in. Like, I don't leave the house much, but now I do because of Zeke. And that's a whole other topic. Zeke's Zeke. Like, Urban Dictionary Zeke is just like a lifesaver. And I mean, I personally don't think that I will ever not have depression. Like, it's not controlling me, but it is a part of me. Like, I can't change that. Like, can't change a lot of things in life. And I hope that I can do normal things in the future like every family does. I hope I get married. I hope I have kids. I hope my kids don't have depression, but if they do, I mean, I know what it's like. At least I'll be able to tell, rather than being 20 years later and you get diagnosed with depression or something and be like, oh, that's why I was depressed. You good? Zeke thinks he's a small dog. He just climbed. No bark. Lay down. Hi, he's hypering. I gave him a bath. Okay, no. He likes tissue. So yeah, like, I mean, I think people with, like, I don't know, there's like this whole thing, like, people with mental illness shouldn't have kids, or I don't know, there was like we had some debate in class. I was just kind of like, excuse you? I mean, a lot of people suffer with mental illness, and that's why it needs to be Mental Awareness Month every month. Because people have it, like, hard. People have it hard. Some people don't have it hard. I have it hard. Some people don't have it hard. Depression is also, I don't know how to say it. What is it? depression is debilitating. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like a lot of Zeke is a psychiatric service dog, which that tells you how much I'm able to do because of my mental illness. I'm not like dumb or something. I'm still me. I just have a dog. It's like a crutch, a mental crutch. But he's not an emotional support dog because I've had panic attacks where I'm literally hiding in a closet in church, or I'm so disorientated I can't find a way out of a store. Like, I'm just like holding on to my mom's cart, like, get me out of here in my brain. Like, I dissociate, I cry. Oh my god. I think it's normal for me to cry in school. Everyone's just like, that's normal, she cries all the time. Now I'm just the girl with the service dog because I haven't cried yet. What else is it? There's so much more to talk about because depression is a big topic. But yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's just like preschool, middle school is okay. Preschool, kindergarten was okay. My favorite teacher, Miss Damid, she loved ladybugs. I drew ladybugs for her, everything. And I was good at art. Art was my, like, getaway from everything. So I was the only kindergartner who knew how to use scissors. So all the kids were like with their plastic scissors, snip, snip, oops, I cut my finger, and it was nothing because it was plastic. And I'm over here with the teacher scissors. I was like, yes! And I would be the teacher's assistant. So, I mean, I feel like she helped me recover from that traumatic thing, from being bullied because I was the only white kid, to being a helper, to being like everyone's favorite. Like, let's play dolls. Can you help me cut this paper? Like, things like that. And, I met a lot of friends there. I met my childhood friend, No Name. We've been friends for, how old am I? I'm 17. We've been friends for 12, 13 years. She's my best friend. Oh my gosh, she's my best friend. I don't know if she even follows my channel, but yeah, she's my best friend. I kind of like stopped dissociating myself because of that teacher. And she really helped until, my 5th grade year, that final year of that school, my depression went down. I got bullied again. Hamlin, I got bullied that whole year. I was the geek. I was the girl who hung out with the guys and played magic cards, like some nerdy game. And people bullied me because of that, because I had acne, because I would hide out, because I would cry in class. Like, who's trying to be tough? Everyone has emotions. And in 7th grade, I shaved my head for St. Baldrick's. And I got so many names. And I know I have younger viewers, so I will not say those names. But that, down the gutter. That was my worst year. And then 8th grade wasn't so bad, but I still got bullied to a point where my principal came up to me and she's like, if you want to wear hats, you can. I was just like, I mean, I did sometimes, but it was a fashion statement. It wasn't because, like, I'm ashamed of my head. I mean, like, donated $300 for St. Baldrick's, and I donated my hair to Wigs for Kids. So I wasn't really complaining. Freshman year, I kind of got bullied, but not really. It was more of friend drama, and yeah, that was a lot of drama. Sophomore year, I was just in a bad relationship, really, until last year. That was like 2 years, a bad relationship. But, after sophomore year, that summer, that's when I went to outpatient because it had gotten so bad. Like, even at home, it was so bad. Like, with my depression, it's like, if I'm not depressed, or like, if I don't have something to get depressed about, my mind will find something to get depressed about, whether it be like a dream. It's just a whack. And for people who think they have depression, talk to someone. It's really not that hard. Like, when you even go to most places, when you go to your general doctor, they'll be like, how have you been feeling? Like, just honestly tell them, because it sounds weird. It sounds weird to be labeled, but don't be labeled. It's just a part of you. It's something you have to deal with. Talk about it. Talk about any feelings you have to an adult, because it's valid. Your feelings are valid. And mental health stigma is so harsh, and it shouldn't be. And I don't know why it is. I don't know why people think it's okay, because someone who already has mental illness with that stigma, it just hurts because you feel invalid, but you're not. And I think sometimes people need medicine, sometimes people don't need medicine. Sometimes people just need some therapy, some coping skills, and it's okay. And some people don't. Some people need longer treatment. Some people need permanent treatment. And that's okay. And being different is okay. Like, mental illness is a thing, like, medically, but it's just part of you. And yeah, I mean, I don't think you should feel ashamed if you need help. And sometimes, I don't know, let's say you're in a deep hole and your parents don't care, or you're just alone. Find a way. Like, let's say you have a cold, go to a doctor, be like, I'm also depressed, or I've been feeling down, or I need someone to talk to. Like, little things, like, even hint little things if you're too scared to. Or write down a letter. I mean, that's what I was. When I was a kid, I was just so isolated, I just wrote letters to my parents. I was like, I've been feeling in the dumps. And I don't know what to say. There's so much to say. And this video is already getting long, and I really don't care. So yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone if you have depression. You're not alone if you have anything. You're, like, not alone. Everyone's different. Everyone has a struggle, whether it be temporary or permanent. Like, there's just ways to deal with it, and it's not okay to say someone's stupid, someone's, I don't know, mental, psycho. Like, that shit hurts. And all I can say is stay strong and find help if you need help, or speak out more about mental illness.